Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me and for tuning into this video. All right, so there's a couple things I want to talk about. It's time that we come to the realization that universal health care for all is no longer just an option, it's a necessity. So, there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed in our country that either aren't getting any attention or aren't getting enough attention. So, as I've expressed in other videos, this country has a pretty bad drug problem. Excuse me. And mass incarceration is not the answer to fixing that problem. Um, those individuals need the proper medical treatment. And, when I'm referring to medical treatment, it's not just medication. There are certain types of drug addiction that medication can help them, kind of wean off of it or whatever. But also, there's the mental factor of it. You know, um, like I said before, there are individuals who are suffering from internal issues. Something traumatic occurred, and the way that they deal with it is through, uh, drug abuse, or you know. There's a number of different reasons behind that, but the in order to really address certain issues, we definitely have to get the health care for all. So mental abuse, now that goes towards victims of traumatic experiences. That goes towards individuals who have been on drugs, who need help in defeating the drugs and staying off of the drugs. And that also goes towards individuals who have been sexually abused. That goes towards individuals who have been physically abused. That goes towards excuse me, people who have suffered traumatic events. A lot of us veterans have suffered traumatic events in various ways. Even small things like one thing that I've noticed in the military is that there are a lot of failed marriages. There are a lot of failed marriages. And that in itself can be traumatic in ways that isn't taken into consideration. Also, the loss of friends. A lot of us have lost fellow service members. Who were friends of ours, people we've served with. It's not always due to combat. We get a lot of veterans who commit suicide. We get a lot of veterans who just die, in accidents or whatever. I've had a couple friends who have either committed suicide or died by accident, that have been murdered, and it does take a toll, not only on us veterans, but even, on individuals within society. A lot of people have witnessed their family members be murdered, or, some of their best friends be murdered. Some people have, been the victims of attempted murder, so there's a lot of traumatic events and various types of PTSD that's out there that isn't addressed. Issues, reasons why people turn to alcoholism or turn to drugs or whatever. So mental health, physical health, there's various different forms of health care, and this needs to be available to everyone so that those issues can be addressed. So universal health care is no longer an option. It's not something that we should just consider. Is something that's a necessity. That we absolutely need. Now, let's say that we go that route. We get the universal health care. Some of those issues that I've mentioned are just the tip of the spear, to be honest with you, when it comes to receiving help. You know, um, Various forms of counseling and stuff like that falls under mental health. You have family counseling. You have women who need counseling from like postpartum blues, postpartum depression. You have your everyday, Joe, who suffers from depression. A lot of people suffer from undiagnosed issues, and then sometimes, even the medication just isn't enough. Excuse me. So, say we go that route. What that does is it opens up a door for more jobs. The way that the healthcare system is now, there's already a shortage of nurses. There's already a shortage of nurses. There's a shortage of doctors that specialize in, certain fields. And expanding healthcare and making it available to everyone, and definitely going in those directions of those specialties that are needed to treat a lot of our problems that we aren't addressing or aren't paying enough attention to. This opens up a wide variety of jobs in the healthcare field, and in the medical field for individuals. That in itself creates jobs. Taking care of ourselves, taking care of our people, taking care of our families, taking care of the citizens of this country and those who want to become citizens when they qualify. That stuff that opens, so many jobs. That in itself creates jobs, and it also, fixes, you're killing more than one bird with one stone. You're creating a whole bunch of jobs. You're fixing, addressing and fixing issues that are currently going, untreated, unaddressed, so on and so forth. So that creates jobs as well. And getting people off of drugs and in preventing future generations from being on drugs and from further educating people, as far as personal health and, diets and stuff like that, you're increasing, our health overall. Excuse me. Which enables, excuse me, it enables more people to be around longer. It's healthier people, less, with the way that the system is, it's less, I guess, welfare, government assistance that's spent, that's put into, taking care of sick people or really, really ill people. A lot of those illnesses, that become very serious can be caught and detected early on. They can be treated early on. Who knows? It could possibly, help with genetics later on down the line. Because, as it shows, we can, constantly get sicker, and pass that stuff on. We could possibly get healthier, and pass that on, as well. So that's just one of the reasons that universal health care is, or a couple of reasons, I guess, that universal health care is no longer an option, but is now a necessity. If we really want to fix a lot of the problems that are here in this country, we're going to need universal health care. And that is going to go hand in hand with a lot of the other concepts that I have. We do have the means for funding universal health care. And as I stated before, when we get to the point of treating illnesses before they become serious, they're less expensive. When we can catch, the earlier stages of cancer and treat it, is less expensive than, having constant treatment. Let's say you beat it, then it comes back, and then you got to have that treatment again. If you can get ahead of it, you're done. If you can catch, warning signs of various diseases, or you see the onset of certain things and you can treat it, is a whole lot different. Or, even with injuries, if you can get to certain injuries before they become serious, before they become, really infected, It saves down the line versus having to pay for surgery, so on and so forth. So it'll actually save money, in the long run, will actually save money, by people being able to be treated, so on and so forth. That's less people, losing work days because they're sick, with the proper system in place. There's less government assistance, going into paying for individuals. In fact, which I'll discuss later on, and my ideas about government assistance programs and stuff like that. you know, you're working, you're capable. As long as you're, a capable individual, who should be working and doing your part, your taxes are paying for your health care. Now if you're a disabled person or whatever, that's where, um, disabled in the sense that you can't work, that's where, government assistance programs will come in. But I'll cut this video short because there's a lot that I want to discuss going into that realm. So thank you very much for your time and for watching this video.